Have you ever wondered what secrets are hidden within one of the most sacred places in the world? The Kaaba, a cuboid-shaped building situated in the central courtyard of the Masjid al-Haram, the Grand Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, is considered the holiest site in Islam. Its significance lies in its role as the focal point of Islamic worship and the direction of prayer, Qibla. Over the centuries, the Kaaba has been surrounded by various legends, mysteries, and stories, which have only deepened its enigmatic aura. One such legend revolves around an entity that is said to be restrained within the Kaaba. In this video, we will explore the shocking revelations concerned with unveiling the true identity of the restrained entity in the Kaaba. The story of Prophet Ibrahim building the Kaaba is narrated in various Islamic texts, including the Quran and Hadith collections. According to these sources, Ibrahim was commanded by Allah to build a sacred house for the worship of the one true God. Ibrahim was instructed to gather materials and construct the Kaaba with the help of his son, Prophet Ismail. They were guided by Allah to build the structure on a specific location, known as the Sacred House, in the city of Mecca. Together, they began the construction of the Kaaba, using the available materials and resources at their disposal. The structure was built with a wooden framework, covered with a curtain made from black cloth, and had a door on the eastern side. However, by the time of Muhammad, the Kaaba had been taken over by pagan Arabs to house their numerous tribal gods. In 630 AD, Muhammad and his followers took over leadership of Mecca after years of persecution. Muhammad destroyed the idols inside the Kaaba and rededicated it as a house of monotheistic worship. Following the conquest of Mecca, Prophet Muhammad established the Kaaba as the Qibla, direction of prayer for Muslims. Prior to this, Muslims used to pray facing Jerusalem. However, after receiving a revelation from Allah, Prophet Muhammad changed the direction of prayer to face the Kaaba. This change symbolized the unity of Muslims and their connection to the birthplace of Islam. The Kaaba was damaged several times after Muhammad's death, and with each repair, it took on an altered appearance. In 1629, for example, heavy flooding caused the foundations to collapse, necessitating a complete reconstruction. The Kaaba has not changed since then, but historical records are vague, and it is impossible to know if the current structure closely resembles the Kaaba of Muhammad's time. In 1982, the door of the Kaaba was adorned with solid gold, and it is covered by a black silk cloth known as the kiswa. This cloth is embroidered with golden thread and represents verses from the Quran in Arabic. The kiswa is replaced every year on the second day of Hajj, the annual Islamic pilgrimage. Within the Kaaba lies a secret that may surprise you. Lying at the heart of the Kaaba is the black stone, a cornerstone that has intrigued people for ages. Its history is shrouded in mystery, and there is much speculation over what the stone might be. Many Muslims believe the stone is in fact a meteorite possessing supernatural powers. This theory of the black stone has seen it likened by some writers to the meteorite which was placed and worshipped in the Greek temple of Artemis. The black stone was held in reverence well before Islam. It had long been associated with the Kaaba, which was built in the pre-Islamic period, and was a site of pilgrimage of Nabateans, who visited the shrine once a year to perform their pilgrimage. The Kaaba held 360 idols of the Meccan gods. It is also believed that Ibrahim and Ismail placed the black stone, a sacred relic, in one of the corners of the Kaaba. The stone is considered a symbol of unity and the oneness of Allah, and is revered by Muslims as a reminder of the importance of unity and submission to the one true God. Muslims believe the Prophet Muhammad once kissed the stone, and during their mandatory, once-in-a-lifetime, trip to Kaaba, they try to kiss the black stone if possible. If they are unable to, they simply point to it every time they pass on their 7-circle journey around the Kaaba. Each time pilgrims pass the black stone, they recite a prayer from the Quran, "In the name of God, and God is supreme." Non-Muslims are strictly forbidden from touching it, and most of the year the Kaaba is covered in black cloth. The stone is often described as a fragmented dark rock, somewhere around 2 feet (0.61 meters) in length. Its surface is blackish in color, but there is speculation that this is due to how much it has been touched. Along with the oils with which it is anointed, According to Muslim tradition, the stone was originally white, but turned black from being in a world where it absorbed humanity's sins. First described in Western literature in the 19th century, Swiss traveler Johann Ludwig Burckhardt visited Mecca in 1814 and provided a detailed description of the black stone in his 1829 book Travels in Arabia. It is an irregular oval, about 7 inches in diameter, with an undulated surface composed of about a dozen smaller stones of different sizes and shapes, well joined together with a small quantity of cement and perfectly well smooth. It looks as if the whole had been broken into as many pieces by a violent blow and then united again. According to Islamic tradition, the stone was set intact into the Kaaba's wall by the Islamic prophet Muhammad in the year 605 AD. Muslims also believe that the Kaaba stone was once part of the stones of heaven. There are various versions of its story of origin, all similar to one another. When Adam was banished from the Garden of Eden, he was filled with sin. The black stone was given to him to erase this sin and allow him to enter back into heaven. Some instead believe the ancient stone was brought from a nearby mountain by the archangel Gabriel. Over the passage of time, the stone has undergone significant damage. During the Umayyad siege of Mecca in 683 AD, it is said to have been struck and smashed to pieces by a stone fired from a catapult. Another tradition says that the black stone was originally an angel that had been placed by God in the Garden of Eden to guard Adam. The angel was absent when Adam ate the forbidden fruit and was punished by being turned into a jewel, the black stone. God granted it the power of speech and placed it at the top of Abu Qubais, a mountain in the historic region of Khorasan, before moving the mountain to Mecca. When Ibrahim took the black stone from Abu Qubais to build the Kaaba, the mountain asked Ibrahim to intercede with God so that it would not be returned to Khorasan and would stay in Mecca. According to some scholars, the black stone was the same stone that Islamic tradition describes as greeting Muhammad before his prophethood. This led to a debate about whether the black stone's greeting comprised actual speech or merely a sound, and following that, whether the stone was a living creature or an inanimate object. Whichever was the case, the stone was held to be a symbol of prophethood. In 930 AD, it was stolen by a small Shiite sect called the Karmatians, who took it back to their base in Hajar, modern-day Bahrain. According to the Ottoman historian Qutb al-Din, the Karmatian leader, Abu Tahir al-Karmati, set the black stone up in his own mosque, with the intention of redirecting the Hajj away from Mecca. This failed because pilgrims continued to venerate the spot where the black stone had been. So, the pieces were later returned. There are even stories about people being killed for trying to make contact with the stone. In the 11th century, a man allegedly attempted to smash it and was killed on the spot, causing only slight damage to the stone. According to the Swiss traveler Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, in 1674, someone smeared the black stone with excrement so that everyone who kissed it retired with a sullied beard. Persians were suspected of being responsible and were the target of curses from other Muslims for centuries afterwards. Throughout history, there have been various interpretations and beliefs about the black stone in the Kaaba. One of the most intriguing aspects of the stone is the idea that it contains a spirit or entity, often referred to as a jinn or a jinn. According to Islamic tradition, jinn are supernatural beings created from smokeless fire. They are similar to humans in many ways and are capable of both good and evil deeds. There are several stories and legends surrounding the black stone and its mysterious presence. One such legend tells of a powerful jinn named al-Aswad, who was captured and imprisoned within the stone. Some believe that the jinn's imprisonment is a result of its rebellion against Allah, while others suggest that the jinn was captured and placed inside the stone as a form of punishment for its misdeeds. Another interpretation of the black stone's mysterious presence is that it contains the spirit of a prophet, possibly Idris or Enoch, who was transformed into a stone as a reward for his piety and devotion to Allah. This belief is supported by the fact that the black stone is often referred to as Hajar al-Aswad, stone of blackness, which could be interpreted as the stone of the prophet or stone of the servant. Today, the stone is still broken up into several pieces, with estimates ranging from 7 to as many as 15 fragments. These are held together by a silver frame, which is fastened to the stone by silver nails. Since no scientific studies have been allowed on the stone, it is only possible to speculate what it could be. Theories have ranged from the stone being basalt, agate, or obsidian rock to an alien artifact. One theory proposes that the stone is a meteorite worshipped by the pre-Muslim pagan Arabs. However, Ritter von Lauren, the Austrian consul general in Egypt, was able to inspect a fragment of the stone removed by Muhammad Ali in 1817 and reported that it had a pitch-black exterior and a silver-gray fine-grained interior, in which tiny cubes of a bottle-green material were embedded. There are reportedly a few white or yellow spots on the face of the stone, and it is officially described as being white, with the exception of the face. A significant clue to its nature is provided by an account of the stone's recovery in 951 CE, after it had been stolen 21 years earlier. According to a chronicler, the stone was identified by its ability to float in water. If this account is accurate, it would rule out the black stone being an agate, a basalt lava, or a stony meteorite, though it would be compatible with it being glass or pumice. The black stone has never been analyzed with modern scientific techniques, and its origins remain the subject of speculation.